Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the big day has finally arrived. Non-League to Legend FM20 edition starts right here. If that excites you, make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, all that kind of stuff. But that's not it. The celebratory mood for the new series continues. I'm giving away a copy of the game over on Twitter. Twitter details are down here somewhere now. If you head over to Twitter today, you've got a chance to win a copy of Football Manager 2020 today. If you're watching this in 6 months' time, I've already given it away by now. But you know, if you're watching it the day it comes out, you can win a copy of the game down on Twitter. If you can't wait to win a copy of the game and want to play it right now, I've got a link down in the description below where you can buy it much cheaper than Steam whilst supporting the channel. So we've got win-win there as well. You save money, I earn a little bit of commission, and if we hit 2,000 likes on this video, I'm going to release episode 2 at 9 o'clock today. I know 2,000 likes is a lot. It's the biggest like target we've ever set. But when we did this in the beta, I set a target for 1,000 and you hit it by about 6:30. So you've made a rod for your own back. 2,000 likes by 9 o'clock. We do episode 2 today as well. Roll the new intro. Hello and welcome to part 1 of Non-League to Legend FM20. I'm Kev and it all begins here. This is awesome. I can't believe we're finally playing Non-League to Legend. As you can see, I am sat in the boardroom at Kings Lynn. It is breaking news. They're offering me a contract. They're offering me a contract to replace Ian Culverhouse, which, looking at the internet, it seems he's doing an okay job in real life, but they've decided to replace him with me, and they've offered me a 1-year deal on £525 per week. That sounds like a good deal, but before we can accept it, there's just a little something we need to check. And that little something, of course, in true Non-League to Legend tradition, is making sure that we can actually get to Kings Lynn and have somewhere to sleep while we're there. I mean, to be fair, for the first time in years, we could probably do this as a commute. Kings Lynn is only 37 miles away from where I live. It's the closest starting club we've had for years. It's a 58-minute drive at this time of day if you go via Thorney and Guyherne. And then the thing is, though, the roads are rotten. They're horrible roads out in, I guess, Cambridgeshire and Norfolk. I think it turns into Norfolk around here somewhere. The roads are horrible. We don't want to be driving there, despite the fact it's only an hour. So we're going to take our new £525 a week salary to the good old Halifax mortgage calculator. It works out at £27,300 per year. That's not a bad starting salary for any job, never mind being a football manager. And based on their lovely mortgage calculator, other mortgage calculators are available. This isn't a sponsored thing. We could borrow up to £129,675. Now, again, this is a little bit different from last year down in St Albans. Last year in St Albans, we couldn't buy anything for the kind of budget that we had. But this year, £125,000 in Kings Lynn, even if we just stay in the centre of Kings Lynn, we're not even looking at the surrounding area. We've got literally Kings Lynn. There's 57 different properties available. We've got our pick of anywhere, flats, park homes, does that mean caravan? A 3-bed house, for goodness sake. So rather than just going for the first house I see, I want to be smart about this. Like proper Kev smart. We're planning for the future already, because I've seen how well Kings Lynn are doing in real life. There's a very good chance I'm not going to be able to do that well, and they might sack me. And if they do, I need a backup plan. So rather than buying one expensive flat, I'm going to buy 2 cheap flats. I can afford both of these for my £129,000 budget. I can live in one, rent the other one out. Kev gets into property investing. So I think this is the one that I'm going to live in. The one downfall is no chairs at the moment, but I guess we can use our rental money from the other one to invest in some chairs. But we've got a lovely 1-bedroom ground floor flat in the middle of Kings Lynn that we can live in. I think I can accept this job offer. So, back in the boardroom, they don't seem to mind that I went out house hunting and Google Mapsing midway through. The offer's still on the table. The flashing seems to be a little bit more insistent now, but Never mind, eh? So, the chairman is called Stephen Cleave. I'd like to formally welcome you to King's Lynn to get you acquainted with your new surroundings. I've already had a little look around the town, Stephen. We will receive an introductory welcome pack before going to finalise the vision and objectives we're to proceed together with. Congratulations, and we wish you the best of luck. So, club reputation is 1 star. Media prediction is 9th. There's an 8,200 capacity at the Walks Stadium, which I think that if we ever get close to filling that, I'm going to be quite impressed. We haven't really won anything particularly recently. In fact, the majority of recent years have been spent down in the non-playable leagues in Football Manager terminology. So yeah. So we were previously known... Okay, so this version of the club was founded in 2010. King's Lynn Extinct was the previous club, presumably. That must have gone out of business. But we're still playing at the same ground that was built in 1900. And we've still got 1879 on the badge. And it talks about our pre-2010 success as well in here. But we've made it back up to this kind of level for the first time in goodness knows how long. Is it ever? I don't ever remember King's Lynn being at this level in my lifetime. They might have been, but we're writing our own history. This is our current best 11 based on a diamond. I do love a diamond. There are a few names there I recognise. This guy, Marriott. I hear Adam Marriott is doing really rather well in real life at the moment. That fella, did he used to play for Cambridge? If so, probably going to have to sack him. The rest of the names, nothing particularly familiar. Apparently, Alfie Payne is our key player, according to the little thing that's flashing around at the bottom of the screen there. A 19-year-old key... Oh, he's on loan from Norwich. I got excited for a second there. Our key player's only 19, but he's on loan from Norwich. I wonder if that's some kind of affiliate deal because Norwich are just down the road. If it is, we might have to knock that on the head because as per non-league to legend rules, we can't have a parent club. That would be a shame if that's what... He's the only one, so I hope it's just a loan because they're local and not an actual affiliate thing. One thing I did notice at the bottom, which is interesting, is we're professional, which that's, again, a big difference from last year. Oh, no, squad personality is professional. Is the club professional? We'll get to that in a minute. So, continuing my chat with Stephen. I could ask him, but he's not letting me get a word in. Club culture is sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. I can do that, no problem at all. That's how you do lower league management. I can get on board with that, Stephen. Work within the wage budget for 5 years. That's a little more challenging, but wage budget's a very fluid thing, Stephen. We'll be good. By the end of this season, they want a top half finish in this division, which, again, I don't want to keep referring to real life, but based on what's happening in real life, finishing the top half this season must be achievable unless this whole squad is massively underrated compared to their real life talent. Or maybe Ian Culverhouse is the talent. We've got to get the first round of the FA Cup, second round of the FA Trophy, and then by the end of next year, looking for us to reach the playoffs. But of course, my contract expires this year. So if I don't finish top half this year, I'll never get to experience that playoff push. And then the 5-year plan is to continue reaching the playoffs. There's no plan to actually win the playoffs at any point in the next 5 years. As long as we're within the wage budget, we've got young players and we're perennial playoff challengers, Stephen Cleave is going to be happy. I think we'll all agree that isn't going to be enough for Kev. We need to be pushing beyond that. So, yes, I want to do all these meetings and intra-squad friendlies and all that kind of stuff. Yes, please. Confirm. And now we should probably save the game. We've got to call it non-league to legend, haven't we? Look at all these save games I've already got. It's almost as if Football Manager is my job. Non-league to legend. Get the game saved. And then we're going to have a little explore of this club. But before we explore the club, a couple of things to show you. Firstly, I did use the face generator where it takes a picture of your face. That is me. That is exactly what I look like. So, yeah, there's that. And people always ask what leagues I have loaded. So just to let you know what leagues I've got loaded. For now, this will change as the game progresses. But at the moment, I've got all the leagues in England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales and Republic of Ireland. Plus some of the leagues in France, Germany, Spain and Italy. My thinking being if I get sacked from King's Lynn, I could end up in one of the other home nations and plus players from, like the Welsh North and South League. they might be the kind of players we want to be bringing in. So I want those leagues loaded mainly for the players, and also potential future job opportunities as we start to progress up the leagues and it becomes obvious we're never going to need to manage in Northern Ireland or Wales. We'll start to take some of these leagues out and then bring in the likes of Brazil, Argentina, just to keep that world football thing ready and make sure there's a good supply of Brazilian wonder kids to sign when we inevitably make it to a big club. It's also on a large database size as well. And the other thing people always ask is how I've set up my manager profile. So manager profile, all I did was, in addition to using the beautiful face thing, does it show my attributes on there? Attributes, there we go. I ticked the boxes to match my manager up to Kings Lynn, and then pushed the slider all the way along to suit manager rather than tracksuit manager. I'm wearing a collar, for goodness sake. You won't see me in a tracksuit. So that's why it's heavier on that side than that side. But I mean, it's all rubbish. Sunday League footballer reputation, half a star reputation, and a beautiful, beautiful face. That's all I've got going for me. I'm going to try and get by on looks alone. So, contracts due to expire. We're not going to get too bogged down in this kind of stuff yet. We just want to have a little look around the club. I'm just going to accept the vision they've given me. We just see my manager profile. They're not going to take my thoughts on any of this into account, I would suggest. Summary of the English transfers for this summer. Again, I don't want to commit to captains and things just yet. What I do want to do is have a look at the team report and just get an idea of who we've got that's any good, so that we can start getting an idea of what kind of system we're going to be putting together. And on an immediate look at that, it seems like we've got two very good strikers. We've already looked at them. Adam Marriott, age 28, looks like he's got a few goals in him. Been around the local area all his life as well. But he's going to score a few goals for us, hopefully. Michael Gash as well. Perhaps I would be a little bit hasty sacking him. It's a long time ago that he was at Cambridge. Originally at Posh, was he? I don't remember him being at Posh. Well, he's done Posh, Cambridge City, and Cambridge, and Nuneaton. I tell you what, I don't mind him now. And he's been at Kings Lynn for a few years. I never realised he started at Posh. I don't remember him at all. Shows how much better than Cambridge we are. And then this guy is our best midfielder, which the game has already told us. He's on loan from Norwich. We will check that that's not an affiliate loan. Affiliate loan? That is the thing, isn't it? Affiliate club thing. We're not paying any of his. Because I am going to have to cancel it if we've got an affiliate, if it's a senior affiliate. Oh, any players currently loaned between the two clubs will stay at their current clubs. Whew, excellent stuff. Right, so we don't have to lose him. I'm pretty sure in the past when I've done that, you've lost the player as well, but that's good that we haven't lost him. And we've got Michael Cloonan, who is another good central midfielder. So we're pretty solid down the middle of the pitch. Certainly attack, central midfield, we've got several good options. Looking at wide players, it seems we've only really got one who can play on both wings, which is Chris Henderson. And then defensively, we've got a one-man defence in the shape of Chris Smith, who's only 21. He looks a bit special. 21 years old, already 4.5 stars. Hello, Chris Smith. We're going to be very good friends. You do need some mates. Have you got any mates, Chris? Because the rest of that defence looks a little bit ropey. So I think we're going to need to strengthen in these kind of areas. But I'm immediately leaning towards definitely going to be a two-striker system, heavy on central midfielders. So whether that becomes like a 4-3-3, a diamond, something along those lines, maybe. 4-3-3 doesn't really work with the two strikers, does it? Unless we do proper strikers. We're going to bring in lots of players anyway. What does the game suggest as our tactics? Wing play route 1 and park the bus. Welcome to non-league. So if we were to do good old route 1, a 4-4-1-1, well, that's nonsense because our two strikers are great. So we'd perhaps do a 4-4. We're not going to do route 1, I don't think. Why would we do wing play when we don't have any wingers? He's lost his mind. That's a system I could see myself using, though, to be fair. So, well, I'll have a little play around with that before the next episode. LOLLUJO view, which is what we've got on screen now. Just auto size all of that. I am going to get that on the Steam Workshop as well, so this should be on the Steam Workshop ready for you to download if you want the LOLLUJO view in your own save as well. In fact, can I just send that over there now? I might not do it in the middle of a video, but that'll be on the Steam Workshop by the time the video is out. But let's just head back to the team report again and see what in fact, before I look at the assistant report, does my assistant have any idea what's going on? Do you know what day of the week it is? Paul Bastock is my assistant. He's a player assistant manager. He's 49 years old and he's still a player. He made his debut in 1988. I was 6 years old when this man made his debut. I mean, he's done the LOLLUJO tour as well. We've got Boston, Kettering. I always used to be Kettering before the YouTube days. Boston, St Albans. My word. Corby. He lives round here, doesn't he? He's Stamford, Corby, Wisbech, Grantham, Pinchbeck. All these are local places. Kings Lynn. Is he my neighbour? So Paul, let's see what Paul's got to say. Assistant report. So we've got some good partnerships throughout the team, which is nice. Good vision, decision making, marking. Apparently we've got good depth at right back, which I didn't see when I was looking at that screen before. Chris Smith, we know, is an excellent centre back. We've got a good spine to the team. Smith, Payne, Marriott. With plenty of wage budget remaining, which is good. But as suspected, overall depth leaves a little to be desired. And then in particularly, defender depth, defensive midfielder depth, attacking midfielder depth, and then just, general football skills. We can't dribble or head. We don't try very hard. We're sensible about it. We're good at fighting. We're good at punching, but we're slow and weak and get tired quickly, but we do it slowly and can't jump. Again, welcome to non-league. What I'm getting from this is that we need to bring in some players. I don't think we need to sign strikers, but just about everywhere else we could do with some players. We have a little bit of transfer budget. 30% of transfer revenue is made available until 2 million revenue has been generated. Thereafter, this will drop to 10%. I've never seen that before. Is that a new thing, or is that just a non-league thing that I've never noticed before? We do have a little bit of space in wage budget. Not a huge amount, £750. How much does a typical player here earn? So we've got like 1.5 Adam Marriotts or 3 Chris Smiths. So we could potentially bring in some decent players. It does look like we're full-time. Have we checked that? No, we're semi-pro. So that means non-contract players are an option. I love a non-contract player. We've obviously got loans we can explore as well. Have we got anyone scouted at the moment? Let's get him in on a trial, whoever he is. Go to this. There's not a lot. We need to send our scouts out, get them working. These lads who are already on here, we may as well offer these trials. Yeah, all right. We don't need your tutorials. We'll get those in and we'll hopefully start to put together a team. Based on that as a little introduction to the club, would love to hear down in the comments your thoughts on what you would do. What systems would you be leaning towards tactically, formations and mentalities and that kind of thing? What positions do you think we need to strengthen in? And do you think I'm going to smash through the ceiling of the wage budget before we even get started? Oh my word, I'm going to try not to because they'll get cross. Right, I'm going to go and spend a good few hours putting a team together and getting ourselves ready for the first game of the season. And that's where you will see me for the next episode against Bradford Park Avenue. We'll go through all the transfers. We'll do the Bradford Park Avenue match and hopefully start the season as we mean to go on with a big fat win. And that might be at 9 o'clock tonight if we hit 2,000 likes. It might be at 4 o'clock tomorrow. You'll get a video 4 o'clock tomorrow regardless. It's just whether it's episode 2 or episode 3. So make sure you get those likes in if you want to see our first match later on today. If you've enjoyed that video though, or just excited for the new series, pop a like regardless. Even if we're already over 2,000 likes, the more likes, the better. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.